how to use Google Calendar for scheduling. Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how you can get started with scheduling on your Google Calendar. We all know Google Calendar as a simple calendar, but it has so many powerful features that you can use. So let's get started. First off, I'm going to select the account that I want to build my scheduling on. Once I've done that, I'm going to click on the top right Google Apps icon. Once I do that, I'm going to click on Calendar over here to open up the Google Calendar. Now, this will show you your default calendar. You will see on the left you have the ability to create, you will see the current month as well as your calendars. Then you can integrate other calendars over here. So you can click on create a new calendar and you can base different calendars based upon different fields of your life as well. Now, to actually set up your own scheduling tool on Google Calendar, all you have to do is set up your appointment system. Click on Create on the top left and click on Appointment Schedule. Once you click on Appointment Schedule, this will allow you to build one free appointment schedule. Keep in mind that if you are not subscribed to Google Workspace, you can only create one bookable appointment schedule in Google Calendar. So for this, first off, you're going to enter the title for your bookable appointment schedule. Let's say this is going to be my work day, or let's say this is going to be my meeting times. And then after that, I can choose my appointment duration. So how long does one appointment with you usually last? Now I want to make this 30 minutes. And then after 30 minutes, I can set up my general availability. So what hours throughout the week are you available in? You can choose to not repeat them, or you can repeat them weekly, or you can set up custom schedules for a particular period. Now I want to repeat this weekly, and I'm going to add a full calendar like this. Once I've done that, my availability for Sundays, let's say it starts at the evening. Let's say it is going to be 5 to 7 or 5 to 8 in the evenings. And then from Monday, let's say we are available 9 to 5, or let's say it's 9 to 4. And I'm just going to change that into 4. You can also just click on copy time to all to copy it to all the available days. Now, if you want to schedule in your lunch breaks, you're going to select your first portion of available meetings or a bookable time before your lunch break. So let's say from 9 to 1, we are going to be working. So I'm going to select 1 p.m. from here, like this. Now I will click on this plus icon. This plus icon will allow me to add another period to this day. Now I'm going to start my second half of the day, which is going to start at 2 p.m. till 3 p.m. Like this, I have scheduled out my lunch break. Now I'm just going to copy this to all of my days and then just change it for Sundays and Saturdays where I have different availabilities. So let's say for Sundays, we are going to be available only from 4 to 8. And then for Saturdays, I want to follow the same calendar. So I'm just going to change that into 4 to 8, like this. Now, once you've entered your basic schedule, if your general availability varies from every week, you can change that into does not repeat or custom, and you can set up the customized variable time availabilities, but you will have to update them as time progresses. Below that, you will have your time zone. So select the time zone that you are present in, and then you have your scheduling window. So how many days advanced can you be booked in? So for the scheduling window, I can make it available now, and I want a maximum number of days in advance that I can be booked in because I don't like to take meetings too far ahead in the future. So I only take monthly meetings. So within the next 30 days, someone can book a meeting with me. But after that, they would have to wait until my next calendar is published or until my next appointment day is available. After that, we have the minimum time before an appointment can start. Now, for the minimum time, let's say I only take 1 hour, and that is all I need to prep for an appointment. After that, you can also have adjusted availability. So you can change a specific date's availability. Let's say you have a birthday, a doctor's appointment, a personal affair that you need to run. So you can click on change date availability. Let's say I have a birthday to attend on the 18th. So I can just click on the 18th, and then I'm going to make this date completely unavailable. So although this falls right under my calendar, The 18th of December would be marked as completely unavailable for me. Below that, you have your booked appointment settings. So if you open this up, you can add a buffer time between appointment slots. So usually this is something like a 5 to 10-minute wait because sometimes appointments can take a longer time than expected, or you might need a break. So you can add this buffer time between appointments to ensure that you have a smooth flow of your clients. Moving on, you can also choose to schedule a maximum number of appointments that you accept in a single day. So, although by default your slots are going to be created, once the maximum number of bookings is reached, it's not going to allow anyone to book more meetings with you in that particular day. So, if I go with two, only two people can book me. I don't personally like to turn this on because I like to maximize my productivity, but you can choose to add that if your field requires a lot of attention and concentration. Then you have your guest permissions, where guests can invite others. I don't like to allow this because this can make my calendar a bit too clogged. Then you have your calendars. So if you want to check calendars for availability, and I'm just going to leave this connected to my default Lily's calendar, and I'm just going to use this dark red color to denote it. Then I'm just going to click on next, and now I can get started with customization of the booking page and photo and name. So it's going to show your Google photo and name, then your location and conferencing. You can go on ahead and choose Google Meet, phone calls, none or to be specified later, or in-person meeting. I can add the in-person meeting location like so. Once I've done that, I'm just going to add this like so. And then after that, I can add a description about the type of service or the type of meeting this is. Then below that, you can customize your booking form. Now, I am not going to add a description because this is just a general meeting. You can just add a basic descriptor. Usually, this is for service-based industries. If you are a lash tech, nail tech, if you are a therapist, whatever field you are in, you're just going to provide a basic description of your basic meetings or basic bookings that people are scheduling with you. Then you have your booking form. So by default, it has three major categories already added: first name, last name, and email addresses. However, I like to add items and I can require a phone number, or I can add customized items as well. Then you have your booking confirmations and reminders. Once completed, click on save. And just like that, our Google booking form or scheduling tool has been created. If I click on open booking page, people will be able to see all the different available time slots that they can book a meeting with me. And you will see the available dates go up till the 29th because currently it's the 29th and I can only be booked 1 month ahead of time, not more than that. And once a person selects the time they want, they can fill out these fields and proceed with their booking. And just like that, you can get started with Google Calendar's appointment booking or scheduling tools. And once a booking is made, you're going to see that time blocked off in your Google Calendar. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video.